Hey friends, it's time for another new episode of the Two Clouded Mind Show with your favorite hosts, Chris
I have a very caveman brain.
and Dave.
He's falling apart in front of our eyes.
Subscribe to the Two Clouded Mind Show on YouTube and everywhere you get your podcasts.
Two Clouded Minds, baby. I love you guys.
Oh my God, you're meant to do that.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Happy Wednesday, friends. Welcome back to a new episode of Two Clouded Minds, aka KCDC, because we're missing Anthony, but that's what
I wouldn't say we're missing him, Chris.
you said it, not me.
That's like the oldest joke in the book, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
That's like the oldest joke. That's like our grandparents would love that one. They'd be slapping their knees.
Oh yeah, for sure. What's up, dude? How are you?
Good. I'm good. Thank you for welcoming me back. I appreciate that. I know that you were talking to me and not our listeners. I was out of the country and I'm home, and it was a blast. I got a chance to just go back and look at the footage a little bit already, and it came out pretty nice. I'm excited for the way the episode is going to turn out.
That's amazing. Remind everybody what you did, where you went. I mean, obviously you were in Mexico, out of the country.
Yes, so I was in Mexico. So I do that. I produced that Spirit for Spirits project, the cocktail show, the bartender battle, and we released season 1, as everybody heard, ad nauseum throughout the entire winter and into the spring. We're underway filming season 2, and one of the brands that we're going to be featuring this season is a mezcal brand called Mezcal Amaras, and they're in Mexico. Got to be
so cool.
Got to be in Mexico to make mezcal. You got to be in Mexico to make tequila, and you got to be in Mexico to make mezcal. So they saw what we did. Luckily, one of our main contacts was somebody who we had worked with last season. Last season we visited Angel's Envy in Louisville, Kentucky, and our contact there, his name is Josh. He's a great dude. He heard that we were doing season 2, and he said, "Hey, it went so well last season at Angel's Envy. I'd love to have you guys feature the brand I'm working with now called Amaras." One thing leads to another. We meet with them on Zoom, a couple Zoom calls, tell them exactly, we lay them out like what we do, what we would need from them, so on and so forth. And they decided that it was a good idea. They decided they wanted to bring us down there. They brought us down, which they treated us like kings. I have to be honest with you. So it started out, they flew us from Newark. We flew into Dallas, and it's like Dallas is a major international hub,
Yeah.
So I had to check a bag in Newark, and I knew it was going to be like over the weight limit. So it was 4 pounds over the weight limit. And the girl's like, "You want to put 4 pounds of stuff in your backpack?" And I was like, "Nah, just charge me. What's it going to be?" I'm like thinking it's going to be like $100 or whatever. $30.
Sweet.
Yeah, not bad. So I check my bag for $30. I fly from Newark to Dallas. We have a pretty minimal layover in Dallas before we board our planes to Oaxaca. And Oaxaca is where mezcal is made. I didn't have to worry about my bag, obviously, because it was just on a connecting flight. And then when I got to Oaxaca, my bag was there and we were good to go. And all my gear, not all my gear, my main camera, my main lens, a couple other very important, very fragile, or, relatively fragile things I carried in my backpack. Yeah. But for most of my gear, I just put in the suitcase and said, "Fuck it, I'll see you in Mexico." So we collect up our stuff, and the first, a driver picked us up at the airport, a young kid, and drove us to the Alebrije studio. Now, when we do the episode, when we do our Spirit for Spirits episode, I like to try and do a corresponding episode of a series called Locally Sourced. I've talked about it a little bit on the show. While you're in Louisville, Kentucky, checking out Angel's Envy Bourbon, make sure to stop by Sugar Mama's Bake Shop and try some of their bourbon balls. You know, like while you're in town visiting the distillery, here's something that's not alcohol based that you could do. It could be anything. It could be maple syrup. It could be tea. It could be anything. Well, in Mexico, it was alebrije. Now, alebrije is art. It's Mexican. It's traditional Mexican art. It's wood carving, very intricate painting. You might have seen some alebrije before without even knowing what it was. I'll put a few pictures into the episode so people, while I'm saying this, they'll be able to see a couple of the pieces of alebrije art. Almaraz was very kind to hook us up with this artist collective. It's like basically like 200 artists that just go there every day and just like do art. They carve wood. A lot of the tradition is that animals and the spirits of the animals, I guess, are important in people's lives for different reasons. So it reminded me very much of like the zodiac calendar, where like a Sagittarius would have this description or whatever the case, but it was more along the lines of like, this animal represents this, and depending on when the day and the year of your birth, those are your two spirit animals. So my spirit animals are my birthday spirit animal is a dog, and my birth year spirit animal is a snake, I believe. I didn't get the full rundown. We had a lot going on, so I didn't get the full rundown of what all that means. But if you watch the episode, you'll at least get a feel for it. But it was really cool because the woman gave us a tour of the entire art studio, and a lot of what they did was traditional, including the colors of the inks and the paints that they used. She showed us how they actually like mixed the colors from like natural stuff right there in their hands and like rub it right on the wood. So like she took the first pinch of like powder. It was colored, green, say. So she mixed it with a little bit of water, and then she puts it on. And she's like, "This is green." She's like, "But then we add zinc to it, like zinc powder." So she'll add some zinc powder, and she's rubbing it, and it turns like lighter to yellow. And she keeps rubbing it and rubbing it and rubbing it, and then after a little while, it turns to orange. And then she keeps rubbing it and rubbing it and rubbing it, and then eventually it turns to like red. And then she paints it on, and she's like, "And that's red." And then like she'll take lime juice and squeeze the lime juice on it, and it'll change color again to like a blue or purple or whatever. And she showed us like there was like a dozen colors that she made. One of them is ground up bugs. You take these bugs, you put them in the mortar, the pestle, and you grind them up with the mortar, and then you put water with it, and it makes red. And that's how they make red, by grinding up bugs. And so she showed us all these different ways that they make the different colors. It was incredible. And it was all like natural, hand done right there in front of us. She showed us like the different stations where people were carving things. They would basically like carve an animal or maybe a combination. So like I'm a dog and a snake. So they would like combine them somehow into one animal and then carve that. And then they let it dry. And if it cracks, they'll sometimes fill in the cracks with gold, or they'll fill in the cracks with silver or something like that. So it was really, really cool. They had some pottery, clay, stuff like that. They had all these different, a whole bunch of different art stuff. So that was our locally sourced episode. We got a chance to check out the Alebrije studio.
Cool.
Then we went to this restaurant that was like in the middle of nowhere. We couldn't even believe we were at a restaurant. It was like they were cooking it outside right in front of us on a fire. Like it was, we walk in, and from the outside, you thought it was like somebody's backyard. And we walk around, and you see these tables, long tables lined up, and we're like, "Oh my God, this is the restaurant." But we had like really good traditional Mexican food. It was really, really good. We go in, check into our hotel, and Mezcal Almaraz was very kind to set us up with our each individual hotel rooms. So me, Albert, and Josh each had our own hotel room, little corner suite, not a suite, just a room, but it was pretty sweet. Yeah. It was pretty sweet.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. So, and then we had a little while. So me and Albert walked around the downtown because we were like right in central Oaxaca at like, at the Marriott or whatever it was. And so we walked around town, saw a couple of the little local shops. Then we went out to dinner that night. Dinner was another, local Mexican restaurant. Phenomenal. Super good. We go home, we go to bed. The next morning, Albert and I walked down the street for breakfast. We had like this French toast with cream. It was so fucking good. And then the second day we filmed at the actual distillery. So, okay. So when we drove from the airport to the art studio, this one kid drove us. But then from the art studio, this dude Yvonne picked us up, and Yvonne was our driver for the rest of the weekend, or for the rest of the trip. He drove us to and from everywhere. So the following day, we meet up with Yvonne. He drives us. He accidentally drove us to the second stop first. We got to see like where we were going to be coming back later to eat lunch and do some filming at like the bar that they had. Yeah. But we were supposed to do the distillery tour first. So we went back to the distillery. We got the full distillery tour. Place was fucking big operation, and it was like all outdoors. Like everything was outdoors. The fermentation tanks were just open air fermentation tanks sitting outside. Like there's like a overhang, there's like a roof on the place, but it's just like there's this giant pavilion, and everything just happens under the pavilion in the open air. There's no walls.
That's fucking awesome.
It's insane.
Fucking awesome.
It's insane. And they do everything like, I mean, it couldn't get much more traditional than what they were doing, So we got to see the entire operation, the distillery itself, the stills. They're like little pot stills. Instead of having like one big still, they have a whole bunch of small stills with a little arm each, and it's like a long row. And then they have fires. The stills are sitting in cement or in like stone, and then underneath the stone is like a little fireplace, and they put they put wood in the fireplace and burn the wood they're burning wood. It's not like, and the way they temperature control it is either they put more wood in if it needs to be hotter, or they pull the wood out of the hole of out of the fireplace into the walkway to get the wood out of there to make it less hot. Like that's how they're temperature controlling, just like how much wood is inside the hole. It's fucking crazy. And so we got the whole full distillery tour. Then we went back over to the other place called the Palenque, and the Palenque is more of like an experiential area. They have agave fields there, but basically they have like this pavilion where they have a bar set up for tastings, and that's where we were gonna do our like build, where Albert learns the original recipe. I flew my drone around over there, so I got some aerial shots and some field shots of like, that kind of stuff. So that was pretty cool. We go to do the build. We go to have him mix a margarita at the bar, but at the bar, all they have are bottles of mezcal and like small little, not shot glasses. It was like larger than a shot glass, but like a little sipping glass. That's all they had. They didn't have anything else. So there was like no lime juice. Thankfully, there was people cooking us lunch. They had limes. No triple sec or any kind of orange liqueur, no shakers. The people who were cooking, luckily they had some ice, so they spared us some ice. But like we had to do
like a real Bones Brigade.
Oh, bro, we did the he learns the cocktail, but the guy shook it in like a clay pot, like an open clay pot. He just kind of like kept his hand over top of it and just like switched it around a whole bunch in the clay pot, because like that's all we had. But Albert made the point. He's like, you know what? At some point in the past, somebody was they mixed their drinks in clay pots. Like this, this is not the first time somebody's done this, right?
Yeah.
But and at the distillery, I forgot to mention, we actually saw them. Like we saw the pit in the ground, because the way that mezcal is made. They dig a hole in the ground. They put 2 tons of wood in there. They light it on fire. Then they put 2 tons of stone on top of the wood to like the fire essentially gets trapped under there. Then they load the big hole with the piñas, which is the inside part of the agave plant. They make a big mound with that, and then they cover it all with dirt, and they leave a hole at the top, and it just smokes. and the wood and the heat from underneath cooks and smokes the piñas the entire time. And then they smash and crush the piñas, which we saw every step of the process. They were actually they filled the hole with agaves while we were there, with piñas. They covered it up with dirt while we were there. They smoked the shit while we were there. So we got a chance to see everything that they did. The one thing I regret is not making Albert go over and like pick up a piña and throw it on the mound. You know, like if he participated in that, that's probably the only way it could have been any better.
Now, was there any like if he would have done that, was there any like traditional aspects, like maybe he was like doing something that he shouldn't have been doing? You know what I'm saying?
Not even traditional aspects, more just like health codes.
True.
So, yeah, I mean, but at the same time, if you saw this place, you would laugh about health codes. Like, every single fermentation container is just an open bucket, like a big, giant wooden bucket, and they fill it with the juice or whatever to ferment, and they cover it with the pulp, like the crushed, like the pulp of the piñas, which if you eat it, it tastes kind of like sweet potato. But they had all of them covered, so it looked like giant pumpkin pies. It just looked like huge, big cups of pumpkin pie. And in the center of the pumpkin pie is a hole, and you can see the stuff bubbling in the center. You can tell that it's fermenting because it bubbles in the center.
Whoa.
It's fucking crazy. And just a whole, as like this big, giant area of just big, huge pumpkin pies.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
So we got to see that. I flew my drone around. I got to fly it in the agave fields a little bit, which was a lot of fun. Got some good footage. And then we had this lunch there, which was, homemade. It was made around the corner. The guy had a grill, and he was making the stuff right there. Like, the tortillas were so fresh. Like, it was the best meal of the trip, in my opinion, that one. And we had some good meals. And then we basically, I guess that was basically it. We went back to the hotel. No, I'm sorry. We had dinner again that night. And then, we go back to the hotel, and then the last day was just pretty much all travel. We checked out of the hotel, and we had to leave the hotel at like 11, and from 11 o'clock until I was not home until like 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:20 in the morning. But you have to figure it wasn't 11 a.m. to 2. It was actually 9 a.m. to 2 because of the time difference. Yeah, so it was a really long day, right? But we were driving around at one point, and we saw the baseball stadium. They have a Mexican League baseball team there. It's called the Oaxaca Guerreros. Guerrero is warrior. So this is my Guerreros hat, and it's got like all stitching all in it and stuff. It's got the Mexican flag on it.
Dude, that's a sweet colorway too. I like it.
Right? Sky blue and pink.
Yeah, dude.
So we saw the signs like on the outside of the stadium, and we wanted to go to an actual game. Like, we wanted to actually just go to the game, but we got a little hung up. It started to rain in the middle of the day, and so that kind of hung us up for a little while, and we didn't get a chance to actually go to the game. So they have an official team store at the airport. So all three of us, me, Albert, and Josh, all got Oaxaca Guerreros hats. Albert and I got the same hat, and then Josh got like a black one with like the gold. It said OAX in gold.
Cool.
So it was pretty cool. But
That's awesome.
This is my souvenir from the trip. This hat. That's it. That's all I got for myself. Right. And all that footage.
At least something. Yeah. No. At least you got something to bring back. That's cool as hell.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't think I would bring anything because I'm not like much of a souvenirs guy at this point, But this is a good one. I'm happy to have this.
Hell yeah. And I mean, honestly, like, people go to Mexico all the time, but how often are you going to go to Mexico? Unless it's, what I mean?
Well, here's the thing.
Business.
For me, I never would have been able to go if they didn't treat us. And, for that, I'm forever grateful. The way they treated us while we were down there, let alone just covering our expenses, like it wasn't even just that they covered our expenses. It was that they showed us the royal treatment the entire time we were there. They had an itinerary. Basically every hour of our day was accounted for, and they showed us the best possible time. They did the nicest possible things they could for us with those hours. So yeah, we keep saying it because it keeps happening, but this one's going to be tough to beat. This one is going to be real tough to beat,
For sure.
Like,
For sure. That's so cool. I'm so happy for you guys. So stoked. I can't wait to actually see the episode.
yeah, well, you're going to have to wait till at least the winter time. Sorry, pal.
That's fine. I mean, hopefully, since I know a guy, maybe I get a couple sneak peeks here and there.
You might. You might. But yeah, it'll be, the episode won't be coming out, like, for people who are listening or watching, the episode won't be coming out till probably like December-ish. We released last December, so we're looking at probably trying to hit, the 1 year mark.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Plus, it's only the second place. We just filmed in Oaxaca, and just prior to that, we filmed in Asbury Park Distillery. But those are the only two so far out of 10 parts. We've only filmed 2 parts, so we're not anywhere. Like, we're just starting.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah.
That's such a cool flex too. Like, yeah,
They flew me down to Mexico.
no big deal.
No big deal.
Little internet show.
We had a car drive us around. We had a driver. Like I told him, I was like, "Yo, let me get your full name." He was a sweet guy. He was a really nice guy, Yvonne. So I got his full name. I'm going to put him in the credits of the episode.
Cool. Shout out Yvonne.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's awesome, man. I'm super stoked for you guys. Really.
Thanks.
Yeah, man. No, I like, and I'm not like trying to like blow smoke or nothing, but like, you work your ass off, and it pays off.
Well, yeah. I mean, so far so good. So far so good.
Yeah, dude. That's so cool.
I keep getting people reaching out to me. I shouldn't say that, because it seems like it happens a lot. It doesn't. It's only happened like 2 or 3 times. But somebody commented on one of our YouTube videos the other day, being like, "Oh, your content is great, but your SEO is out of whack." And like, it always seems so shady when they say stuff like that. Like, it always seems like such a scam whenever these guys. Like, I got a DM on Instagram once, and the guy said basically the same thing. I got a comment on YouTube, and maybe another DM or another comment somewhere along the line. But I now, like, for the last couple of days, I've just been like diving into watching videos on how do you improve your YouTube SEO? Like, what am I doing? What can I do better and stuff? And I went back and I like renamed like all the fucking videos on the Spirit for Spirits channel and stuff. Freaking out. So if anybody who's watching or listening to this is an SEO expert, please DM me. You can DM me at any number of different avenues. You can DM me with the show. If you like underscores, you can DM me with the show, or you could just DM me at DC in the City. If you're an underscore enthusiast, DM at the underscore 2 underscore clouded underscore minds underscore show. But if not, DC in the City works.
Yeah, hit them up there. It's so much simpler.
Yeah, for everybody.
Yeah, seriously.
But yeah, man. So that was a lot of fun. I want to go again. I mean, I don't want to go to Oaxaca. I mean, I would go to Oaxaca again. It was a blast. I would definitely go again. But when I say I want to go again, I mean I want to go to the next place. Whatever the next place is going to be, I want to go there.
You will.
You
will.
I think that there's a probability that we will end up going to Kentucky at some point. That seems like it's more likely than not. Like, I would say it's at least 51%, maybe 60% that we're going to go to Kentucky, because like there's so many different bites at the apple. There's a million, There's a million different distilleries in Kentucky, a couple of whom we are in contact with. So it's like one of them, I would say should pan out.
Yeah.
So at least we'll do one. We'd like to do more than one while we're down there, but if we can do at least one, that would be great.
Hell yeah, dude. That's fucking cool. That's so cool. Yeah, you didn't miss anything here. I was so sick last week. Like, the whole week.
I didn't get a chance. I know I edited and uploaded last week's episode, but I didn't actually get a chance to watch too much of it.
Yeah, no.
Was it any good?
I mean, was it our best work? No, it wasn't our best work. No, but it's not horrible. It's it's a watchable episode. Him and I had some fun with it. You know, it was kind of we just ranted really
That's good.
about random ass crap, but it worked out. It was good.
Get some stuff off your chest, you two.
Yeah, he's
Good.
a funny kid, man. He's a funny kid.
Yeah, well, we keep him around. There's got to be a reason why we keep him around.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But yeah, no, like I said, I was super sick. I don't know. I guess all the people that invaded town for Memorial Day, you know, we were slammed the whole weekend. So
Can
I
you
paid the
slide
price.
over? Can you slide over to your right a little bit? Nope, the left. I meant. What did you do that for? No, you slide to your left. Slide to the left. Slide to the left. There you go.
Is that better? Am I more centered?
You are. You're better now. Yeah, you were like
Alright,
you were getting very like loosey goosey, and you were kind of slipping off the side of the screen.
You have no idea. I like you see the chair that I'm sitting in for no
It's
reason.
your couch,
Like,
or no,
I-
you're on like a ball, aren't you?
No, I'm on my sauna chair. And
Okay.
it's really like a mini little camping chair, basically. But my back was hurting today, so I like the way you just saw me. I had one leg up on the desk, the other leg sprawled under the table. I was like one butt cheek on the chair. Yeah, my bad, dude.
Yeah. I'm
So
just
anyway,
starting to
yeah,
lose
I'm
you.
just like finally getting over being sick.
I feel like you've been sick a lot recently. Is that true, or
I
am I
have.
making that up?
No, you're not making that up.
What's going on
Before
there?
this,
What's your problem?
I think it's, still like getting used to working nights, not getting proper sleep, being around just disgusting people constantly.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
probably a big part of it. Yeah.
Because before this, remember, I was sick for like 2 months in the winter.
You were.
two
That's what I'm.
solid
That's what I'm
months.
saying. Like I feel like you're. It's almost like you're sick more often than not at this point. I know that's not
Yeah.
true. I know that's not
It's
true.
not,
But like,
But it seems that way because I don't ever get sick. Like I never used to get sick.
yeah, like sick Chris is like a bit at this point on the show.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
You know, like is Chris gonna be sick this time?
Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah, people are tuning in to see if you. They're shipping you and illness.
Yes. But yeah, crap.
Oh.
It was just normal week. Freezing cold weather. We had it rained basically the entire time you were gone.
Oh, and then so check this out. So I did the whole trip, and then like I said, 11 o'clock in the morning, we left for the airport in Oaxaca.
Mm.
We get to the airport, our flight is already delayed. So we're already in like a 45-minute delay, almost an hour delay. Now, mind you, we have 2 hours between our connecting flight in Dallas on the way home. 2 hours. So our flight is about 45 minutes late leaving Oaxaca. They try to make up a little time in the air. We touch down with like an hour and 15 minutes until our next flight. And they're like, okay, when you get to Dallas, when I check my bag, they were like, when you get to Dallas, you have to pick up your bag at baggage claim and then bring it to the connecting flights belt. I'm going to say that again. When you get to Dallas, you have to claim your bag at baggage claim and then bring it to the connecting flights belt. Now, earlier in the story, I told you that on my way down there, I dropped my bag in Newark and I picked it up in Oaxaca. I didn't claim and then recheck or any of that bullshit. That is the job of the airline.
Yeah.
The airline. So
You're essentially an airport worker at this point.
So I have to, when we land, I have an hour and 15 minutes to get through customs, get downstairs, get my bag, go from Terminal D to Terminal A, and board my other plane.
There's definitely trams involved.
You would think there's a like a monorail that just does loops at the airport, so it takes you from terminal to terminal. But it's like D1 through 25, and then D26 through 50, and then But it's so we were 2 stops away on the tram, which was actually 4 stops. Okay. We get off the plane and they're like, okay, go through customs and then get your bag. So we go to get on the customs line, and I walk, and I had to walk all the way around the terminal to almost back where I started, because the customs line was literally wrapped around the entire terminal. It was like 5,000 people long. It was insane. I've never seen a line in an airport like this line. It was crazy for customs. And now I know we weren't the only people who had connecting flights, but we had connecting flights. We need to get to our next flight gate in an hour and 15 minutes. We're not even going to get to the front of this line in an hour and 15 minutes. So we talked to somebody nearby. We're like, hey, we need to get to our next flight. He's like, oh, no worries. You're going to get through this line in about a half hour. And we all looked at each other. The 3 of us looked at each other. We're like, there's no chance of this line getting done in a half an hour. That's a straight lie. Straight up lie.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know what we're going to do, but I need to get to my bag at some point, because my bag's going to end up in lost and found if I'm not down there to claim it in a certain amount of time. They're not just going to let the bag sit there for 3 hours, 2 hours, however long it takes me to get through, right? Not to mention the fact that I have to recheck my own bag and get it onto the other plane that we're supposed to try to catch. So it's 3 men and a suitcase that are trying to catch this plane. And we all have to do it ourselves. So Albert texts his wife. He's like, hey, listen, we're probably not going to make this plane because we are fucking stuck in this customs line in Dallas. And she goes, well, you have this, you downloaded that MPC app. There's it's MPC. I think it's like multi-passport control or something like that. If you download that app, you should be able to go through the MPC line. We look over, and there's nobody on the MPC line. Nobody. So Albert walks over to the woman. He's like, hey, I have this MPC app. Can I go through the MPC line? She's like, sure, just wait on that line, and when you get back to here, I'll let you go through here. And he's like, but that doesn't make any sense because everybody on that line is for there. I just want to go here. I don't need to go there. She's like, oh, actually, you know what? You're probably right. So get your friends and whatever. So she lets us go through this line. She lets us go through this entrance, the MPC entrance. So we get through. Then we have to go through, like, the customs was essentially a joke. Like, nothing happened at customs. We just kind of, like, breezed right through there. Yeah. And then we get to the other side, and now we have to get to the baggage claim, but we have to get through customs. I can't remember where we got separated. But me and Albert were TSA pre-check, and Josh was not. So we got separated at one point in the process where I need to get to my bag, and that's priority 1.
Yeah, of course.
Josh has a bad knee, so he's like extra slow, and he doesn't have TSA pre-check. So we had to split up at one point, and we were like, okay, we'll just meet you at the gate. We have to just get. We're all adults. Get to gate A35. Just get there. We're through customs. We're through the hard part. You don't need to check my bag. You don't need my bag. Just get to the gate. So I went downstairs, got my bag. I'm just standing there waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for them to actually start dumping the luggage down the belt. You know what I mean? Thankfully, my luggage was one of the first ones that came off, so I was able to run over, grab it, ran it like 50 yards away. Like, took my own fucking luggage, 50 yards, gave it to the other guy. And I was like, can you put this on the belt, please? And he stands there for a minute. And just stands there. And he stands there. And I'm just looking at him like, come on, put it on there. He finally puts the thing on the belt. I watch it go into the thing. I didn't walk away until that shit was through the little flaps. So I go.
Yeah.
Finally, okay, boom. Now we're running, basically, like speed walking through the rest of the terminal so we can get upstairs, so we can get to the tram, so that we can get our 4 stops over to Terminal A. And meanwhile, praying the whole time that Josh makes it over there, right? Because poor guy's got a bad knee. We realized later that we should have got a wheelchair for him, in which case we would have been able to skip every line. So
Yes.
next time. But he's getting knee surgery in a couple weeks. Anyway, so we make it over to our gate like right before they start boarding. So thankfully we were actually able to get like a sandwich real quick. So we were eating while they were boarding the previous groups. So we made it to our flight. We made it to our gate. We got on the flight. Flight takes us home. We get back into Newark. We get in an Uber. The Uber takes us back to Albert's house, but he makes 2 wrong turns on the ride home. So like, it wasn't that big a deal. It only added like 5 minutes to the ride, but 5 minutes at the end of like a 15-hour travel day feels really bad. I wanted to be like, bro, what are you doing? I can see your GPS from here. You have an iPad as a GPS. You can't possibly miss this. And it told you to go straight and you turned. Why did you do that? Now we got to make a whole fucking loop-de-loop to get back to where we were. Why did you just do that? He's just making wrong turns. He's got GPS on and he's just flat out making wrong turns. He says, go straight. Just fucking go straight. No, he gets off and he does one of these. So now we have to go all the way. Like I said, 5 minutes, not a big deal. But at the end of 15 hours, it should be 15 hours, not 15 hours and 5 minutes, right?
Agreed.
Like, that feels bad. So we get back to the house. Albert.
And that's not even being petty. That's like valid. That's fully valid.
I'm just asking you to follow the GPS. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking.
You have one job, dude.
Literally. So we get back to Albert's place where I left my car. I say goodbye to him, load stuff in my car. I get on my way home. It rained so fucking hard that night on my way home. I don't know if you were up or if you saw how hard it rained.
Yeah.
The fucking the parkway was flooded. It was coming down in fucking sheets. I get to mile marker 123. My windshield wipers are on full blast, highest setting. Just trying to get through this fucking rain. And then, boop, they stop. So I'm at like mile 123. Mind you, I live at 74, so you can do the math.
Yeah.
I have no windshield wipers, and it is raining like the Dickens. It was so now I have to drive like 40 miles an hour with my flashers on in the right lane, all the way down 50 miles on the parkway to get home in the pouring rain. Thankfully, around like exit 85, mile marker 85 or so, it cleared up. The rain cleared up, so I could drive faster. But yeah, I didn't get home till like 2:30 in the morning because my fucking windshield wipers broke after 15 hours of. It was like I was making the joke that like it was bound to be a bad day coming home because the trip was so good. You know, like the trip was so good and it was so positive and so many good things happened and nothing bad. Yeah. Like it could have gone bad in a million different ways and none of them happened. It was a great time. Even when it rained, we were already like done filming and we just needed to eat. We were just eating lunch. So like everything went so well that it was bound to be a dreadful trip home because things have to balance themselves out, right? You can't just have a good time, right? You just can't just have a good time.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right.
Something bad has to happen so that by the end of the trip, by the time I walk in my front door, I'm not even happy anymore.
No, you want to pull your fucking hair out.
Right. Like I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go home. I'm looking forward to going home. I can't wait to get home. By the time I get home, I'm pissed off. I'm like, fuck this.
Like, yeah, Jersey.
Yeah. Like I get in my car, I'm driving. Thankfully, I'm back in my car. Oof. All right, cool. I'm in control of my own. Boop. I was like, is this fucking for real? You know, it was one of those things just like, am I tripping? And I forgot that I'm tripping. No, this is real. This is real. But yeah, man, overall, it was a blast. I have to say, shout out Mezcal Amaras. If you have Mezcal Amaras, drink it. If you haven't had it, try it. They're wonderful people. They put a lot of love into what they do, and hopefully, I am able to, have that come through in our episode. I hope to, do them that justice. But I think I will. I think it's going to be nice. I think it's going to be nice.
I was going to say, again, not blowing smoke up your ass, but like you're good at what you do. So you definitely are going to put out a good product. they'll be
Bro,
happy with it.
How Mexican is this hat?
Dude. Holy crap. I'll tell you what.
With all the embroidery on it?
Yeah, I respect it.
It's
I
awesome.
respect
It is awesome. I got the Mexican flag right there. This hat, it's like one of my favorite hats that I've ever had.
Yeah, it's a good hat. It's definitely a good hat.
Yeah.
But dude, it's funny that you say that.
Vamos,
listen,
Guerreros.
I'm gonna call your windshield wipers a car problem.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that you had a car problem because I, sir, am without vehicle right now.
Stop. So hold on. Less than, well, maybe, I guess it was what, like 24 hours ago, 25 hours ago that you were like, sorry, fellas, I'm busy doing DoorDash. And now today you have no car.
No car.
What happened?
Yesterday morning I got up and I was like, oh, cool. I got a good night's sleep. I'm up early. I don't have anything to do today. I'm going to DoorDash. I'm going to see what I can do from like 11 a.m. till like probably now-ish.
Sure.
I was ready to put in a shift.
Mm-hmm.
Filled the car. I had to come back to the house for something. I forgot something. I come up, I pull up, I come in, I leave, and now I go the back way and I'm going down 8th Avenue towards Main Street. I'm doing rolling through town. It's residential. I can't go, I'm just rolling. And I felt something weird. It almost felt like I ran something over. And I look behind me. I look in the rear. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't run anything over. I'm at the stop sign on 8th Avenue and Main Street. My fucking car starts shaking uncontrollably. I'm like, what in the world is this? So I make the right-hand turn and I go. And the shaking stops. I'm like, all right, that was fucking weird. Real weird. I get over the Belmar Bridge. I'm doing 40. Wheels doing this. I'm like, what the fuck?
Your wheel is jerking off two dudes?
Pretty much.
Okay,
yeah.
I got it.
It's uncontrollably shaking. And then the shaking is in my seat, too. Like, Jesus Christ. What? I was in my head. I'm like, I blew a bearing, or there's something wrong. There's something wrong with the front end of this car right now.
Yeah.
So I take it to Firestone in Wall because I know they're open. They're the closest. They're busy. It's a Sunday. I get it. I leave the car with them. I Uber home. They call me early this morning and say, Chris, you snapped your front right axle in half.
Come on, buddy. Which car is this now? Yeah.
The BMW. I have the
Oh, that's right. You
2016
just bought it,
BMW.
right? You just bought it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now this is what, the second problem you've had with this since you bought it?
Yeah. And the front axles were what was the problem. They were just replaced.
Front axles were just replaced and it snapped in half.
Yeah. So I call the place I bought the car from and I'm like, hey, am I warranted for these things? Firestone's telling me they want $1,000 to fix this thing. But you guys just did them a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like, what's the deal? They
So
were like, can you get the car towed to us? And I immediately got the car towed to them.
Yeah.
And their mechanic called me. What time is it? It's 20 after 8. He called me at 7 and said that they'll have my car ready for tomorrow. Like, probably end of day tomorrow.
And you didn't have to pay for it because it's just a refix of the fix that they already fixed. Well, that's good at least. That's good at least. Okay. That's not so bad. That's not so bad.
It's still very frustrating.
Yeah,
Still
it's a
very-
huge
I'm
pain in
like,
the ass. Huge pain in the ass.
I was just like, in my head, I'm like, I'm just trying to, like, I'm not being an asshole. I'm just like trying to make extra cash. Like, what? What else could go wrong?
Well, so to me, that kind of it makes me wonder though. Like, did these guys sell you a shitty part, like a secondhand part that they redid? You paid them to do your axles or whatever, and then they use some aftermarket shit or some like used shit. Are you?
Well,
I mean, are these guys
pay.
okay?
The first time the axles broke, I didn't pay for it.
Because it was warranted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me nervous that they're giving you parts that are lesser than because you're not paying. But somebody pays when it's warranted, right? Who pays? Must be the dealership. No, I don't know.
No,
I don't know how it works. Insurance?
Maybe insurance. There's got to be some kind of like bylaw in your insurance that covers that somehow.
Don't know.
I don't know.
There's no way of knowing.
Yeah. But yeah, that's been my last couple days.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, but is what it is. I'll have my car back tomorrow. I'll be back on the road. I'll be fine. It's a blessing in disguise, and I hate saying that. Like, it's forced me to like sit home and relax, hang out with the dog, spend time here, like get the house cleaned, shit like that. So,
all right,
it's all right. It's
Fair
all right.
enough.
You take the good with the bad, I guess.
Yeah, you're looking on the bright side. Look at you.
You gotta, but I feel like that's a sucker's game.
Oh yeah, for sure. Couldn't be me, man. Couldn't be me. Nope.
That's a sucker's game, dude.
Yeah, no, couldn't be me. But I love it for you.
Thanks. Oh man, yeah, it just sucks, dude. Because like, I wanted to, because I was sick all last week. I was ready to get back training this week. Fresh start.
Fresh start. Yeah. If you had $1 for every fresh start you had training, bro, you could open your own gym.
Yeah, I'm never gonna win that fight at the pace I'm going.
What fight? Which fight are we talking about? Remind me.
September 22nd, the Masters tournament. I've mentioned it a couple times to you and Anthony.
No. I think we talked about it on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying that I didn't know. I forgot about it because we've had to be fair, we have had a couple of cancellations.
Yes.
A couple. It's not like just one. So yeah, okay. So I did forget that you do have a fight coming up in September. You said September 22nd.
September 22nd.
And the person
sounds like a long time away. It's really not in the grand scheme of.
It'll be in a blink of an eye. It'll be in the blink of an eye, especially because of the nature of what it is. This is something that you have to prepare. You have to over prepare for something like this, and you're right now very underprepared. Yeah,
but I was on a good track record. I was going to the gym daily, if not twice a day. I was doing really good. And then I got sick.
How recently was that?
I was out of the gym for 1 week while I was sick.
Most recently?
Yeah.
So a week ago you were in the gym doing 2 days?
Yeah.
How long for what duration of time were you doing that before you got sick? Like what was your streak looking like? Your kill streak?
I was like 30 straight days.
30? 3-0?
Yeah. Not of 2 a days, but definitely at least once a day getting in the gym. Oh, absolutely. I enjoy it. I don't look at it like, oh my God, I got to go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
I look forward to it because the people are really cool. Like the trainers are super fun. The people that go to the class are all fun.
You're talking about like the boxing gym?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
I actually got one of the kids a job with me that goes to that gym.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Good kid.
Good for him.
Yeah.
And if he fucks up, you can actually punch him in the face.
He'll beat my ass.
Oh.
This kid's a real fighter. It's what this kid does.
Got it. Okay.
He just recently had a first round knockout.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, he'll beat my ass. He's smaller than me, but he'll beat my ass. Yeah, man. So that's that. That's what's been going on with me. Nothing really
Just being
exciting.
sick.
Just being sick, but I do feel better.
Good.
Just got this little bit of like cough left. We'll get past it. Everything will be fine.
Yeah.
Back up tomorrow.
Yeah, we got to be ready. We need you healthy for the summer.
Yes.
We need you healthy
Yes.
for the summer.
Yeah, man. I want to do some cool stuff this summer. We'd like to
Don't
do.
we all?
We'd like to try to see if we can't coordinate some kind of outdoor somewhere shoot. If that's not like too insanely crazy.
It's not insanely crazy. It's just that I mean, it's been a little difficult for us as people who are watching or listening to the show have noticed that it's been difficult for the three of us to all be available at the same time.
Especially in the summer months.
Yeah, the summer months are going to be hectic. I mean, you know, Anthony's got 2 girls playing softball, so they're working on 2 different schedules and stuff like that. So his availability is very, very, very minimal, like very minimal. But I'm sure, like for me, until further notice, I'm off every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday day. So, you know, I'm not sure how that jives with your schedule.
Mm-hmm.
But and then also until further notice, I'm available during the day every day of the week. Like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I go into work for 5:00. So I mean, lately I try to go in at 4 just so I can get an extra hour in. But
yeah.
But like every day of the week, I know you're an early riser. So if we wanted to do something like before noon or something like that, I'm available for that as well. Like for example, if you want to go play golf or like go to a driving range, we could do that. Probably film it, you know, that type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
We could do that early in the day. That's an early in the day activity.
That's on my bucket list because I've never been to like a real driving range, and I've never
driving range.
Golf. Yeah.
You've never been to a driving range?
Never.
Really? Okay. I could see never being on a golf course. That I can see, but the driving range, like I figure people. But at the same time, I feel like we talked about this once before, or maybe it was Anthony, that like I had a driving range where I grew up, so I feel like everybody had one where they grew up. You know, like it was something that people just did like for fun. At Blackbeard's Cave, it was like an amusement park type deal, and they had a driving range, so it was something that like young kids just did because it was one of the things you could do. You know.
Yeah.
Before
and I can't
you're
say
old enough
that
for the bars.
I've never been on a golf course because I have. We stole golf carts and we drove around like this really nice golf carts in the middle of the night and smoked a bunch of weed.
But you never actually played golf on a golf course.
No, I know nothing about it. I played putt. I know that ain't the same, but yeah, no, I never played golf.
Yeah.
I know it.
Well, I'm down to go to the driving range. You know, during the week. Me and my buddy Danny. I don't know if you've ever. Well, Danny does the football podcast with us, so you've crossed paths with him. He and I have been trying to go hit buckets of balls lately.
I'm down.
I'm down right here.
Sick.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Put it on the list.
Yeah, for sure. My schedule is pretty much solid for the next couple months. Sunday, Monday's off. I work Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursdays I'm off unless it's the last Thursday of the month. That's when they do the stupid Price is Wrong game thing. Mm-hmm. And then I work Friday, Saturday.
Sunday, Monday, Thursday are your days.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah,
cool.
So it makes sense. And those are the days like I'll wake up early and like be like a functioning human, not like sleeping till 1 o'clock in the afternoon like a loser.
I sometimes sleep until 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but not like a loser. I sleep like a fucking baby.
You sleep like a fucking champion.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Sleep like a winner. That's right. But yeah, no, I mean, if I work just like you do. I work until like 1 o'clock in the morning, you know, so
yeah,
sleep in a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, because like when I get home at 2 o'clock in the morning, it's never okay, I'm going right to sleep. It's
No.
walking the dog. Then I'm gonna futz around the house for a little bit.
You gotta
Grab something to
relax.
eat.
You gotta relax. You gotta, ease into it.
Yeah.
You're
it's weird
only a
that, like,
psychopath can just go straight home from work and go right to sleep. Only a psychopath.
it's insane.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Right.
You gotta unwind.
Mm-hmm. Decompress. Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. Oh man. All right, guys. I mean, listen, that's an episode.
Sure is. That's a tight 55, baby.
That's right. That's right. All right, guys. You can find us here every week, every Wednesday to be exact, right here on the old YouTubes, youtube.com/the Two Clouded Mind Show. And if you don't want to look at our crazy, silly faces, you can find us everywhere that podcasts live in the audio world.
Oh, yeah.
Also, we're all over social media at Two Clouded Minds. If you want to check us out individually, I'm at Chris_is_not_funny.
DC in the city on all social media. Check out at Spirit for Spirits.
That's right. Give them a big old like
Mm,
and subscribe.
that's right.
Yeah, Anthony, we missed you.
Who?
All right, guys. We love you. Till next time, stay clouded.